This is how you can make narcissists reconsider their actions and feel desperate. The narcissist and karma are back for another round. To put an end to the narcissist's conduct for good, watch this video. The narcissist, along with their flying monkeys and little minions, can be decapitated with a few genuinely huge truth bombs. It's great to have you back. Welcome back. It was great having you. You're in for a huge treat if you've never seen anything on my channel before. If you are a new visitor, you can be notified each time we upload a video by subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell button. Given this, let's talk about the kinds of things we could say to a narcissist that would cause them to crack. But what I'm about to say might not work for you or your scenario. Maintaining a full toolkit is a wonderful habit to get into. It's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. Keep in mind that the way you approach a conversation with a narcissist can greatly affect the outcome. That's right, this sums up the entirety of reality. Trying to keep your cool and act uninterested as much of the time as possible. If you're having a chat with a narcissist, treat it like a business meeting no matter who they say they are. Use of sarcasm, disdain, or any other sort of degrading language is strictly forbidden. Also, don't make them think that provoking you would result in violence. Ever. When you're around the narcissist, you'll suppress your emotions and behave robotic. Think about the things that don't make sense at first. It is not worth your time to appease this person's demands or argue with them. Keep in mind that when you're talking to a poisonous individual like a narcissist, you're actually communicating with a child. The reality is that you're dealing with a damaged adult child who can't see beyond their own wants and desires. Here, you'll encounter the kind of individual who will go to great lengths to acquire what they want, including resorting to provocation, manipulation, damage, and the manipulation of others' perceptions, and the control and manipulation of results. To get what they want, they will also try to sway the judgments and actions of those around them. And if they are really mad and want payback, they will take any means necessary to wipe you out. Once more, they will say or do anything if it will help them get their goals. You can take whatever precautions you see necessary if you know this going in. Because of their lack of empathy and lack of conscience, we can safely presume that narcissists are not ethically consistent. They'll veer to extremes at you, and I can't even conceive just to make their point that they're the victim or the hero. They never face any kind of accountability for their awful behavior and the harm they do. These individuals will rewrite history and manufacture their own legends to justify their twisted worldviews. They deliberately mislead their customers by omitting key facts. Because they are so preoccupied with their own thoughts, narcissists are immune to any attempts at empathy. If a person is a narcissist, your efforts to show them sympathy and kindness will have no effect on their behavior. Don't bother with them if you want to improve your communication skills, patience, or persistence. It's a sure bet that it won't work. A narcissist won't give a hoot about whatever you talk about with a regular, healthy individual. Get rid of it and forget about it. What you're doing now is counterproductive to your goals. Here's what I mean by counterintuitive regarding how to turn them off. Maintain a stony expression and give off zero signs of emotion or interest. Words and phrases that are simple to grasp and follow can help you get your point across. As an illustration, I'll utilize it. We regret that this is not a moment we can accept. I wish I could help, but unfortunately I can't. The answer is obviously no. I will not comply with your demands. What you have to say does not interest me in the slightest. The word no expresses a whole notion all by itself. After that, there isn't much else to say. Say, I've addressed your question, if the narcissist keeps pressing the subject. I need you to pause right now. There is zero room for error here. This is not up for discussion. If something is completely new to you, you'll obviously need some time to adjust. You need to go through more training. Learn to provide facts without demonstrating high voltage energy intensity or attaching any emotion to what you're talking about if you want to permanently shut down the narcissist. Keep in mind that you should communicate with as much objectivity and detachment as possible. After that point, you should be quiet. Allow yourself some time to acclimate to the silence before trying to do something about it. For instance, taking a moment to collect one's thoughts and breathe deeply before continuing can assist. Recognize the gravity of the uncomfortable circumstance. It's ideal to let silence do its work after you've finished making your argument orally. A moment to yourself and few deep breaths is all that's needed. Maintain a constant state of resolute self-control. Keep in mind that you are only acting as a relay for the data. This is a business transaction, thus there is no emotion involved. To show that you understand their point of view, you could say something like, "I get what you're saying." You may also say that I'm attentive to what you're saying. I promise to keep you updated if anything changes. My reply to your question is on the way. All right, I'll look into it some further. I need some time to consider that. However, a straight line may also do the trick. There is no sense of humor here. After making a point that is both clear and precise, a pause is warranted. The easiest method to deal with a poisonous narcissist is to ignore them and maintain your composure. Find out more about it and how it can help you. Once you learn to adapt to the silence, you'll realize it's more powerful than any words could ever be. If you're ever going to succeed in dealing with a toxic narcissist, this is the skill you need to acquire first. To restate, we always try to be as clear as possible in our written and spoken communications. This will demonstrate that I'm not a slave to your whims and that I'm independent of you. A feeling of wanting to appear just when required pervades your thoughts. The stillness that follows after you've made your argument perfectly plain is more unsettling than anything else to the narcissist who wrongly believes it's a good idea to target you. Use of the word awesome in different contexts is acceptable, but remember that it is not always suitable or useful. Do it if you feel that it is the proper thing to do. I see no reason to disagree. I'm not worried in the slightest. The room went silent after that. Let a coin toss determine the winner. There's also the option of using phrases like "no, that's not going to happen" to support your position. This is how they will finally understand. When the narcissist understands they no longer control you, they will start to fall apart. This is the one method that will permanently eliminate a narcissist from your life. If you begin behaving and speaking this way, sending the message, "I don't care what you think or feel," they will eventually move on to an easier target. At the end of the day, peace will be your boss. It can be challenging to start a conversation with a narcissist since they are so combative. They are most convincing in the early stages of idealization, when they are trying to convince you through love bombing and praising your best traits. When the newness of a relationship wears off, each person acts more like their genuine selves. You'll notice that they automatically react negatively to anything you say. A common rejoinder from narcissists is "I disagree." If somebody said that, your response could be, "You couldn't possibly disagree more. You just wish it was false." After that, there was total stillness. If it doesn't work, you can always just ask them to repeat yourself. You have devised a wonderful strategy for dealing with their unreasonable and dishonest actions. Don't lose your cool. Instead, ask for a repetition of the procedure in a respectful manner. If they insist on saying it, they should listen to what they are saying for themselves. Making a claim that turns out to be absolutely wrong is usually all that's needed to prove someone is dishonest. In the event that it doesn't work, you might want to ask yourself if you'll be able to hear yourself. I think you should take a moment to think about what you just said. You can get away with it this once, but don't make a practice of it. After that, there must be complete quiet. Just by saying what you did, you expose their own irrationality and perhaps even callousness. You also give them a second chance to make amends for their wrongdoing. Make it clear that they will be kicked out of the game after 10 rule violations or instances of rudeness toward other players or the game master. They're aware of how serious the danger is. When confronted with this kind of proof, narcissists typically back down or concede the point. Conciseness and clarity in delivering your views will help you succeed. Keep your cool and your wits about you at all times. There shouldn't be any dramatic reactions. Don't worry about providing an explanation for your behavior. There will be no excuses or forgiveness given to you. Period. Be as assy and expressionless as possible at all times. Relax by lying down and breathing deeply. To grab a narcissist's attention when they are being unduly critical or defensive, simply asking, "Are you okay?" is usually enough. You can expect an antagonistic response without question. Say, "I mean oh," and if you want, as a last remark. Don't mess with it if you're happy with the status quo. And after that, none will remain anywhere in the earth. The evidence supports our claim. I don't know what to say at this point. It's a clear declaration that you're keeping track of the other person's actions. You can't ignore this possibility unless your listeners are all complete morons. The transmission cannot be finished at this time. You are aware that narcissists lack discretion, have no concept of personal space, and enjoy spreading harmful rumors. Narcissists may appear self-assured on the outside, but they often struggle with internalized emotions of inferiority. Insecure people, on the other hand, are obsessed with gathering as much false information as possible about others. It's appropriate to say, "That's none of my business," when someone starts talking about something personal or unpleasant that happened to them. Right now, you should probably just keep that to yourself. Allow the ensuing silence to do its job again. Tell as many people as you can about this. When acting aggressively, a narcissist may employ phrases such, "That is intriguing," which are straightforward and honest. "That's why I understand why this would make you so upset." In this case, it's entirely up to your own judgment. I have no control over what you choose to believe, and your convictions have nothing to do with me. At the very least, it's something to think about. Simply drop the matter by saying something like, "When you're in a better state of mind, we can talk," and move him on. You need to flee if it happens. Saying something like, "Let's just call it quits now, before things get worse," is another option. Continue on your way out. "Get out of here. You're in and over your head. Period. Our conversation is currently at an end." Boom! To put it another way, using it is a breeze. What to say to a narcissist's sympathetic friends and family is discussed. If you've ever been the target of narcissistic abuse, you'll know precisely who I'm talking about. Instead of simply telling a narcissist they're being caring, you should praise them for it and encourage them to keep it up. To put it plainly, you have zero influence over the choices and make that have an immediate and profound effect on my bodily and mental health. Regardless, I truly value your assistance. There was consequently a considerable pause in conversation. There will be zero more discussion. You may possibly remark, "Like I mentioned previously, I have zero interest in revisiting this matter with you. I'd really appreciate it if you could give me some space." There is also the option of saying, "I don't know what to say to you," or being silent. There is zero room for error here. Respect yourself and others by speaking in a manner that is professional, unbiased, unemotional, flatline, straightforward, and brief. Narcissists have an accelerated realization of the seriousness of their situation. It's a good idea to put these strategies through their paces in less critical situations, if at all possible. Because of this, you can confidently convey your point even under pressure. It looks like we've finished our discussion for the day. My sincere wish is that this video is enlightening to you. If you have anything to contribute, feel free to do so in the comments. You may easily follow our videos by subscribing and activating the bell. I really value all of this help.